Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry.
The Hornets come to LA, beat the Lakers. It was a rescheduled game. Remember, they were supposed to play early in the year, but the Palisade Flyers forced this cancellation. So this was the makeup game, the only game on the docket tonight. And the Hornets come into LA and they win thanks to 29 points from Miles Bridges, 27 points from LaMelo Ball, who hit the floater that really iced the ball game. LeBron misses two threes at the buzzer, but the Hornets win 197. Rui missed a couple of free throws, and Austin Reeves got kicked out. He felt he got fouled by Yusuf Nurkic, and it was his first career ejection. And the Lakers lose to the Hornets, which was is inexcusable. No matter what happened with Austin Reeves, when you got Luka and you got LeBron, you still should have enough to win the ball game. But unfortunately, they did not win. LeBron scored 16 in the fourth quarter, but it was not enough as the Hornets come to LA and win the game by the score of 100-97. Ocho?
Yeah.
What you thinking?
Hey, listen, first off, I'm going to skip, right? I'm going to skip the beginning of the book, and I'm going to go to the last page of the book. Boy, the last 3 minutes of that game, the last 3 minutes of that game, LaMelo, Miles Bridges, LeBron. But anyway, the first half, very rusty. Definitely you could tell they coming off an all-star break from both teams. Luka and LeBron early on in the game showed shades of what they could have been, what those two can be actually, you know, with those fast break points, scores early in the game. Outside of that, it always comes down to Rui. At the end of the game, you got to hit those free throws. Mm-hmm. You got to hit those free throws to give your team a chance, to put your team in position to win the game where it doesn't come to LeBron having to make one of those last 3-point threes at the end of the game.
Well, I'm looking at you, right? It's going to take some getting you. It's going to take some getting used to LeBron and Luka playing together. You know, both guys are at their best when they have the ball in their hands, and unfortunately, there's only one basketball, and there's two of those great players. And so it seems like, you know, nobody wants to step on anybody's toes, Ocho. Okay, hey, Luka, you're gonna handle it. Hey, you do what you do. LeBron, you do what you do. But it's gonna take a while, and I don't know if they're gonna have enough time, enough time to figure it out during this season. But hopefully, in the offseason next year, they can get it together. But if you watch the last 2 minutes, the last 2.5 minutes of this ball game, the Hornets, all they did was put Luka in pick and roll. Mm-hmm. Melo Ball, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. They tried to hedge it. They tried to double it. LaMelo give the ball up. He go get it back, and he brings Luka guy again. They put him in the pick and roll, and they got a couple of wide open threes, and then LaMelo split. They ended up taking Luka out. They brought Vanderbilt in, but that makes them really small, so now they got no rim protection. Right. LaMelo splits it, gets down, hits the floater, and basically that was the 4-point lead that they needed. LeBron ends up hitting a big three, but they have to foul. They go make both free throws, and then LeBron missed 2 threes at the end. But Luka's going to have to get better in the pick and roll. They're going to have to do a better job. They seem to be in control of this ball game. And then I think they allowed the Hornets to go on a 20-something, 21-22-1 run.
Yeah.
That can't happen.
Right. I got a question for you, too. Now, you say both players, LeBron and Luka, both are comfortable liking to be on the ball. Luka tonight, to me, looked very uncomfortable out there.
He's not used to playing without the ball in his hand.
So how long does it take, or does LeBron understand that Luka likes to be on the ball and he's much more comfortable on the ball, playing in rhythm like that, especially in transition? So how long?
LeBron doesn't have a problem. LeBron is better at playing off the ball than Luka, although LeBron plays better with the ball in his hand, but he's still more comfortable than Luka playing off the ball. But at the end of the day, Ocho, they're going to have to figure this out. And LeBron was like, okay, y'all do y'all thing. And then all of a sudden the game starts getting out of hand. LeBron said, F this, give me the ball.
I got it.
That's what it comes down to. Hey, F this. I done gave y'all enough opportunities. Right. And but that third quarter is what doomed them. And the Lakers, that kind of been their bugaboo. The last 4 or 5 years, the third quarter, they come out flat. They had a 8-point lead. I think a 7-8 point lead going into the half, and then they get outscored 32-18 in the third quarter. And so JJ is gonna have to do a better job of getting those guys fired up. They can't come out there lackadaisical, bull jiving around, because the next thing you know, a 13-point lead. They had a 13-point lead, Ocho, in that third quarter, and now all of a sudden they end up going. Basically, they end up going down in the third, start the fourth. They're down, up 7, had a lead as many as 13, and now you go down because you get outscored 32 to 14.
They squandered. Listen, the game of basketball is a game of run. It's a game of run.
Yes.
So most of the time, when those runs actually do happen, you want to keep it as close as you can. But sometimes, listen, it gets away from you. It gets away from you, especially if you don't have a bench that can score consistently and give you buckets when your starters aren't in there.
Yeah, and Luka's rusty right now, Ocho. You can tell he's rusty. 5 of 18, 1 of 9 from the three. He's averaging 14, 15 points a game. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen Luka play a stretch where he's averaged 15 points a game. He's due to have one of those games where he goes for 35, 40, 10, and 11. He's due one of those games. Yeah. Austin Reeves getting kicked out didn't help because, they got 3 guys that can really go get their own shot: LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. Yeah. Everybody else is dependent. Put me in a situation, run a ball screen for me, skip pass, hammer pass, do something, pin down. Those 3 guys can go get their own shot. Okay, Luka is struggling. He's rusty. Really, the only guy that's playing was playing decent, and LeBron didn't have it going early. It was like he's just letting it go. Because if you look at LeBron, what did LeBron have in I think he had 10 at the half. I don't even know if he scored in the third quarter.
Right.
And so
It's so funny, Unc, how LeBron can pick and choose when to turn it on. And when he turns it on, he's efficient. When he wants to take a game over and say, you know what, like you said, in that fourth quarter, I think he had 16 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And say, you know what, I got this. This is ridiculous.
Yep. But then they get lax on defense, leave wide open threes.
Oh yeah.
That's their problem. It's always going to be their problem.
Right.
They really don't have rim protection. I don't know. Look, I understand they needed a big, but it's hard for me to believe that Alex Len is a better big right now. Even at Dwight Howard's age of 39, it's hard for me to believe Alex Len. I'm not saying Dwight Howard is Orlando Dwight Howard. I'm not saying he's Houston Rockets Dwight Howard.
You don't even need to see that.
He might be the Shanghai Sharks. But this episode of Nightcap is brought to you by Cologuard, a non-invasive colon cancer screening test. Did you know colon cancer is considered one of the most preventable yet least prevented cancers? When caught in the early stages, colon cancer has a survival rate of 90%. So screening and early detections are key to reducing overall colon cancer deaths. That's why the American Cancer Society recommends that if you're at average risk, you begin screening for colon cancer at age 45. And a convenient way to do that is with Cologuard test. The Cologuard test allows you to be in control of your colon cancer screening through prescription-based tests delivered to your door with none of the prep that's required for a colonoscopy. No liquid prep, no days off, no invasive procedures. Plus, Cologuard test is affordable. Most insured patients pay $0, and a follow-up colonoscopy is needed after a positive Cologuard test. This is usually covered by insurance also. So if you're 45 years of older and at average risk, you can ask your healthcare provider about screening for colon cancer with the Cologuard test. You can also request a Cologuard prescription today at Cologuard.com/podcast. The Cologuard test is intended to screen adults 45 and older at average risk for colorectal cancer. Do not use Cologuard test if you have had adenemas, have inflammatory bowel disease, and certain hereditary syndromes, or personal or family history of colorectal cancer. The Cologuard test is not a replacement for colonoscopies. High-risk patients' Cologuard test in adults 45 to 49 is estimated based on a large clinical study of patients 50 and older. False positives and false negatives can occur. Cologuard is available by prescription only.
I have just think about this, Unc. Even though what you're saying about Dwight Howard being better, at his age, has there ever been a scenario where a player who hasn't played, I'm not sure how long it's been since Dwight Howard's been out the league, has there ever been a scenario like this where a certain position is needed, maybe be big, maybe be forward, maybe be a point guard that hasn't played in a while, and he's come back despite his age because he's better than what you have on your bench?
No, it's hard when guys start missing a year, 2 years.
Okay.
I'm thinking the last time. I'm trying to figure when the last time Dwight played. Well, hell, he's up for the Hall of Fame, so it's been a minute. Yeah, I mean, real talk. It's been a minute,
Right.
But they don't really have any. They don't have any depth. Yeah, they miss AD, but you tell me if what team AD on, and somebody says they offer you Luka Doncic, that you're not going to move him. Y'all make it seem like the Lakers blew this. You're talking a guy that's 25, that's 6 years younger.
Yeah.
And forget Luka being nicked at the start of this season, missing all the games that he's missed. I think this is the first time he's going to play fewer than 60 games in his NBA career. But y'all call him street clothes. Y'all call him always ding. Now all of a sudden, the Lakers have a little struggle. Y'all miss AD. What team wouldn't trade? I mean, there are a handful of teams that wouldn't trade their best player or their second best player for Luka Doncic.
Right.
Milwaukee probably wouldn't do it because it's reported that they brought the trade to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee said no. Probably they wouldn't trade JT for him. They wouldn't trade Jokic. Probably not going to trade Shea. But everybody else, game. Everybody else is game.
Right. That's crazy.
So, but it's a disappointing loss. These are, I mean, if you're trying to make a move, these are the games that you're gonna have to win. You're gonna have to win. So, congratulations to the Hornets. They come to LA, get a victory, 197. I like to be a fly on the wall, Ocho, in a situation like this where a game that you should have won. Because even with the players that the Lakers have, I still believe they're a better team than the Hornets, and you didn't win. I wonder what the coach said. Because I know what an NFL coach would have said. He'd have been cursing and kicking ish. It ain't no, hey, guys, we left some plays out there. The 50-50 ball. Ain't none of that. You lose a game, and your coach believed that you had the better team, and it was because of effort and things like that. Oh, yeah. Coach losing his mind.
Well, hey, it's honestly, it's the third quarter. You could lock it on the third quarter. Third quarter is where everything got away from him.
It did. But how many times did we, Chad, and y'all know if you follow the Lakers, how many times did we say the third quarter? We say that year after year after year after year. Yeah. Game after game after game after game. I mean, at some point in time, I mean, the coaches know that. The players know that. I don't really know what else there is to do or to say. Right. Except go out there and do it. Because it's not like we're breaking news. This is not no, you got to open the FBI files and unseal documents. They played terrible in the third quarter. And this has been a reoccurring theme for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm not sure what the issue is. I don't need to be sure. That's up to J.J. Redick and the coaching staff. Right. Scotty Brooks, Nate McMillan. It's on them to figure that issue out.
And the funny thing about it is J.J. can talk about it all he want. Scotty can talk about it all he want. Well, hell, when the players come out at halftime, they got to be the ones to execute it. They got to be the ones to come out with the energy. They got to be the ones to play on both ends of the court or both ends of the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, we know that the problem that the Lakers are going to have with no AD is defense. Yeah, because now they have no back line of defense. They really don't have a guy that's really good in the pick and roll defense. Yeah. And you see, like I said, the last 2.5 minutes, all they did was go pick and roll the game. They put Luka in pick and roll with Melo handling the ball, and they got wide open threes, and LaMelo iced the game basically with a floater. I mean, it's not complicated. Everybody see what's going on. I mean, even the most, they running the same play. One for a high pick. Put Luka in the pick and roll, boom, get what I want. So that's on them to figure this out. At some point in time, I'm sure Darvin Ham had this issue. Frank Vogel had this issue. Now JJ have this issue. And a lot of these players, Austin Reeves was there. LeBron was there. Rui was there. So at some point in time, even when AD was there, when he was there, the third quarter has been their bugaboo. They're going to have to figure this ish out.